And I'm Mark Racette, here to watch Amanda Racette's speech.
I'm Tina Racette, here to watch Amanda Racette's speech.
I'm Bethany Racette, here to watch Amanda Racette's speech.
I'm Daniel Racette, here to watch Amanda Racette's speech.
I'm Amanda Racette. Thank you all for coming to watch my speech. The 4-day work week sounds like a radical concept, right? Well, with the effect of a global pandemic, our international mechanism known as the global workforce and how it operates has greatly shifted within a few short years. Massive reforms in how the workforce maneuvers itself have begun. Talk of a 4-day work week has been around for decades. In 1956, then Vice President Richard M. Nixon said he foresaw it in the not too distant future, though it has not materialized on any large scale, according to Jones from the New York Times. While working from home was once a radical concept, most businesses have, at the very least, offered it in some format, and many workers have expressed it as their preference. It is clear that flexibility and ownership in your own schedule is important to many in the working class, and is something that motivates and maintains employees. The 4-day work week offers better work-life balance, saves the company money, and increases or maintains productivity for the team. My objective is to persuade my audience to these points, as I myself have been, with clear evidence from my research. As we can see on the calendar, there are only 30 days or 31 days in the month. Monday through Friday, we give most of our time to our jobs. How sustainable is this for companies? According to Robert Gross, the author of the 4-day work week, do we want to devote more than half our waking hours Monday to Friday at work, including time getting there and back, and leave less than half for leisure activities? Why not reduce work time to 32 hours per week? While 32 hours per week sounds like a lot, the difference is an entire day off, either any time in the week. Companies are even able to give this flexibility to their employees to choose when to have their day off. According to Jenny Gross with the New York Times, some leaders of company in the trial said the 4-day work week has given employees more time to exercise, cook, spend time with friends, making them more productive and energized when they are on the clock. Now, spending time outside of work doing things that you love might not seem beneficial to companies, but actually, if you are more happy overall, you'll bring more to work for when you come in. This may not work for every kind of company, but for companies that it does work for, companies which have certain amounts of work that need to be done in a week, it is better to motivate employees to work more during a 4-day work week than a 5-day work week. According to Barnes and Jones, authors of the 4-day work week, the author notes that the two main contributors to the U.S. greenhouse gas emissions are transportation, 29%, and electricity, 28%, with about 135 million Americans commuting to work. So, with that many people coming into work, we could break carbon emissions by 1/5 through our Monday through Friday work week. If we were to do that, it would be not only kinder to the employees working, but to the planet. According to Sojong Peng, author of Shorter, I realized that putting more hours into work did not lead to higher productivity. Longer working hours are not very useful. The link between time and productivity was blurry. So if this time in the office is not being more productive, it is often being used for things that aren't even company related. If we are willing to accept this about the 5-day work week, why can't we accept those outside of work things to be done outside of work and put the expectation for our hours at work to be solely on the most productive we can be during that time? It's better for the company, it's better for morale, it does a lot for everyone overall. According to Robert Gross, the author of the 4-day work week, it's the wrong one. According to Sojung Kang, author of Shorter, I argued that many of history's most creative and prolific people, Nobel Prize-winning scientists, authors, painters, and composers, worked far fewer hours than you would imagine necessary. Rather than grind away, these figures worked in intensive bursts of 4 to 5 hours. The idea of an 8-hour workday is something that was invented only 100 years ago, and it is not something that's consistent with the work that everyone is doing. While it's true that some companies can't afford to cut time away from certain things that are such as lawn cutting or working in a restaurant, companies with different needs should have different requirements. If you are simply required to do a certain amount of tasks in a week and get those done, and you can do that within 32 hours, the goal should be to accomplish it within that time. It is the best thing for morale, for the company, and for the employees. In conclusion, the 4-day week puts it, the 4-day work week can be the answer to crises, big and small, from climate to instability to work-related issues. Utilizing a reduced work week will lead to better work-life balance, saving the company money and promoting growth, and an increase in overall productivity for the team. We are all students in college, but I believe that by the time we have graduated and are entering the job market, it will look and feel tangibly different from where it stands today. And it is up to us to lead in a change for the better for most of the office jobs around the US. Thank you.